Hey everyone, I wanted to show a little bit more extra details. So this is my first passport. Here you can see the number, right? And I went on a student visa to the United States, and here are the details. I studied at University of New Hampshire, but didn't complete. After 3 semesters, I dropped out and moved back to India. Port of entry, Boston. Um, I had departed from Mumbai, and port of entry was Boston. And then I dropped out and moved back to India on February 15th, 2005. Um, and then yeah, after I moved back to India, I worked in a few different companies, and then I got a H-1B work visa, and because my first passport was slightly damaged, the second passport was issued. Here you can see, here you can see um, the number of the first passport and the reason damaged. I went on H-1B work visa, and my first employer was Logic Planet LLC, and then I worked for TCS Acquiring Solutions, and then I worked for American Airlines, and then there was another company who applied for my H1, got approved, but by that time I moved back to India. But then, in the earlier video I showed, I came to India on March 8th, 2009. That's when I got married. Here is my marriage certificate. My spouse passport is with her. When I meet her, I'll probably create a video. Um, Saujanya Konindula and before marriage Saujanya Konindula, after marriage Arumili Saujanya. But I came with on I was on a PTO for only 2 weeks, so we didn't have enough time for getting a new passport reissued. So her passport, the name on her passport, etc., was the same, and um, we flew back on March 21st, and yeah, from March 21st, RJ Airport. Let's see. That time, my port of entry. Yeah, this was my port of entry on March 21st. Some reason the port of entry was not clear here, but I believe I flew through Chicago. And then, I continued, there were these 790 cents. One of my previous videos, I showed the A file from the USCIS. And, these are all the different H1 petitions filed by different employers. And these requirements, let's see, etc. Logic Planet LLC, my first employer. And then, uh, American Airlines. But yes, I did have H1 extensions, etc. And then, what should I say? Kind of, yeah, here's the joke. I don't know. For whatever reason, the India's Raw Research and Analysis Wing created a propaganda of what's an I don't know. So they created some fake alternate identity of whatever and they tried to frame it. Because all of my educational documents, um, this is my engineering marks list. Arumili Kanti Kalyan, right? Here you can see my roll number 9853180504. Similarly, all of my employment related paperwork, my passport, all of these have the same name. So I don't know who the hell is now. But definitely a research analysis when guy did a identity theft. That guy tried to frame me and doing bullshit propaganda. There's no truth. Here are some of my pay stubs from Jesus Acquiring Solutions. Um, what should I say? I don't know, due to certain, kind of confidentiality agreements. I cannot show or should not disclose the actual salary. So I'm gonna show some details. But here you can see Kanti Kalyan here. Kanti Kalyan RMB 1284 Westmoreland Lane. Yeah, that's a property I purchased in the year 2012. So I don't know who the hell is a. And I showed you, right? Like my spouse name clearly. I don't know Jinnah Batani. I don't know Jinnah Batani. I don't know any. I don't know anyone by the name of E. E. I don't know. I don't know anyone with a surname of E. So yeah. And then this is my third passport, R45429550. Here you can see the previous passport. The previous passport has expired and this passport has been reissued. Once more for verification. Um, yeah. So now, honestly, I don't know who the hell is a whatever. And then these people tried to do reputation damage of binamis. Binamis are illegal in India, economic offenses. In other words, binamis are like people who have black money from unauthorized, from suspicious sources. Maybe they didn't pay tax. Maybe they didn't, what is a kind of, maybe they loan scams. I don't know. Could be anything. These people, what these people do is they open bank accounts on other people without their knowledge, and they use those bank accounts for the black money, and they try to frame the other people. Now, because all these things have, and it's a financial offense. One thing, it's defamation. Second thing, it's a financial offense. Doing such activities, defamation and financial offense, economic offenders. They are economic offenders. As far as I'm concerned, I showed my purchases, etc., and I showed my permanent addresses on my bank accounts. The same. That is, like the same permanent address on my passport. The purchases I make on my own very address. But these people, the financial economic offenders, and these people who do the, defamation kind of thing, what they do is they live elsewhere. The bank account would be on someone else's name. Their purchases would be on someone else's name, and the addresses would be someone else. In other words, they are either spies or mafia. If they are spies and like trying to do some anonymous whatever, I don't know. But if India spies, they should, I'm sorry, I'm not blaming the CIA. I'm not blaming. Not they. If raw research and analysis is like that, but they are, like they would do things. But if India spies, they are supposed to be over, in a different country and do whatever, whatever they have to do. But if they are within India, they are most likely not research and analysis one. They are most likely mob, maybe mafia, or maybe smaller gangsters and mobs. I don't know. But yes, that's what's happening in India around my identity. What is so special about my identity? I'm a normal, common man. What could have happened? After I moved back to India, there's a very high probability someone went to the United States and did identity theft, or maybe illegal immigration, or somehow some kind of extensions, or maybe green card fraud. I don't know. Could be. Possibility. That's a possibility. Because I'm a normal, very normal civilian, like anyone else. I'm a normal civilian. I'm humble. Um, I'm not bragging or anything. Yeah, I'm a normal civilian. So what could have happened? Most likely, India's research and analysis wing might have went through backdoor. Backdoor as in not necessarily door, but on some other visa. For example, tourist visa, student visa, dependent visa, movie artists association, like that. So yeah, I don't know what exactly is happening, but there's a very high probability of movie artist association. There's a very high probability of movie artist association. Did you hear? I don't know. In the past 30 seconds, you would hear an extra voice, not just my voice, but an extra voice. That's the invisible drone that they have been misusing on me for the past 5 years. The invisible drone has speaking heard now, and then they even have they have mind reading capabilities. Because I was about to talk movie, kind of as though the voice tried to as though, but no, in my mind, I was thinking about movie artist association, because very close, media and movie artist association very close. Now, why is there so much of media and movie artist associations thing? My logical conclusion: one, if not all, at least some. Or I don't know if it's particularly my case, or maybe a few other identities that have happened, but one or few of them went through movie artist association. That is as though, like a movie unit going overseas. And then I don't know about these backdoor things, but yeah, I don't know what they did, but they might have did some illegal immigration. I don't know, maybe even a green card fraud. I don't know, or maybe they did some illegal money laundering. I don't know. So yes, this is kind of the logical and ultimate conclusion. I don't have the details, but for the past 5 years, they have been misusing the equipment. And right now, in this particular video, you have seen the whispering capabilities. And if you see, if you hear those outside noises, it's like, like it's like traffic noise. But there is some, like kind of distortion, like as though someone is talking, like a vehicle's noise, like a distortion. I know it would sound I would sound crazy, but if you clearly listen, that's how it is. And then, what I'm suspecting, they use these invisible drones. On this web page, on my company's homepage, I have a separate web page dedicated. If you go to eliteservices.com and click on India's spying equipment capabilities, you'd be able to see this. Um, Let me show some of the capabilities. Mm, mm, mm. Here, um, if you see here, video camera, like viewing, screenshotting, probably live video streaming, etc., etc. Speaker, like whispering, record and replay. See, did you hear? That's another voice. That's another voice. I proved right here, right now, at least 3 people have been misusing. To the best of my knowledge, at least 20 people have been misusing. You heard 3 different voices in this particular live video. And obviously, because they can obviously record via audio, and most likely they can replay video. And then they have mind reading capabilities. I didn't exactly prove, but in this particular video, when I was about to utter the term movie, that guy, as though he was thing, you know, and then they have some kind of specifically during sleep stages, not under normal when I'm awake, but during sleep they can manipulate the neurons. And there were a few times when they sent some kind of small electric shock impulses. They did some skin burns via radiation. In the past 2 or 3 times, I had skin burns out of nowhere. And then like when they are able to read the mind, and when they're able to determine the sleep stage, and using these whispering things, they can definitely do subliminal messaging. I think they have such type of simulation, but I cannot tell you exactly. But they definitely do have. They can manipulate the brain neurons, and then this happened at least once. Like it looked like as though someone hit me with like a hard wood kind of thing on my head, and kind of pain. But in reality, there is no one. And then and, like kind of they can at least few times um, they can send some kind of visuals, images, um, this kind of thing. Yeah, I don't know. Honestly, I don't know. Media wouldn't have access to such high technology. Um, so most likely research and analysis wing, because spying capabilities based upon the spying capabilities of the equipment. But they misusing on an Indian civilian, probably something very bad happened. They are trying very hard to cover up research and analysis wing. That's one possible thing. The other possible thing, mafia, or kind of black market equipment. But yes, this equipment does have these capabilities. And right now in this video, if you watch the entire video, replay the entire video, you can hear at least three culprit voices. To the best of my knowledge, there have been more than 20 people, or on an average day, in my average day, that's how I'm getting harassed. And these people, I don't know. I think they have some kind of a base equipment, and I don't know the range of the equipment, but the base equipment would be somewhere. And let's say, for example, the range of the equipment is, I don't know, like 1 kilometer, 2 kilometers, 3 miles, 5 miles, 10 miles. And then, like maybe satellite communication or maybe internet communication. So the people does not necessarily have to be here. The base equipment could be here, and the people could be anywhere. And then, like if the base equipment and these little swarm of invisible micro drones, they can pretty much see, hear, do whatever. So, to the best of my knowledge, if they are harassing me like this, did you hear or not? There was another fourth voice. Um, and then, like based on this, so let's say if there's some recruiter somewhere in Mumbai or maybe in Hyderabad, and if the base equipment is somewhere over there, these people can whisper into their ears. I'm assuming these people have misused the equipment, and they have kind of kept me jobless for the past 5 years. I tried to pull myself together and kind of I tried to move ahead in my career by studying an MBA. Even while I was there in MBA, while I was studying in MBA exams, and then while I was doing job searches, and I moved back. I registered my own IT startup in London, and I wanted to make progress with my career. With me, right here on the home page of my startup. And then, like here, after I moved back to India, I'm applying for jobs. They're messing with me. Yeah, this is not an appeal, but like still, like what should I say, kind of, I'm trying to raise some, not necessarily like funds exactly per se, but like if I want to recruit, because of all of this harassment, it's a little bit messy. And like because of all of these, they can easily hack. They are hackers. They can because they can use mind reading equipment. They can easily hack, and then they can do whatever they want with the mind reading equipment and all of those by hacking. That's why I use YubiKey. It's a biometric USB thing. Some websites support USB authentication, the biometric authentication. Please use biometric authentication because these people are hackers. And then there is what is a kind of yeah, there are other ways, kind of secure your internet connection, try to use VPN, etc. But yeah, um, yeah, this is what has been happening. And in this particular video, you heard at least four other voices, and they are not my neighbors because they are, like the invisible drone. In this particular video, in this particular live video, I was able to say that the invisible drone does exist. I was able to prove the invisible drone has, obviously, they're viewing, they're seeing, and they have whispering capabilities. And based upon the movie term, when I was about to utter the movie term, there was a second verse. It's not like someone prompted, because if someone prompted, there will be a small gap. But almost instantaneously, you heard the other voice and my voice. That means